And we are back at Steel Stadium with another edition of Backyard Baseball between the 7-4 Melonheads and the 3-8 Tigers. Tigers' season has kind of fallen apart on them, but they're still up here. They're still putting up a fight. Their top three hitters are some of the hottest in the league, and the rest of the lineup is where it starts to fall apart for the Tigers. Melonheads looking to come off after a huge win against the Angels. Dante Robinson was announced today's starter, making sure that he gets his one inning of pitching in this season. Unusual choice, but they're going with the left-hander against the Tigers. I think that's more of what it was. It was more about getting the left-hander out there than anything else, because of pitches like that. Ground ball to Gomo, lobs it over, not in time. It's tough for Gomo to make that play.
Checks the runner.
And Tony can't field it. That should be 2 outs for Dante, but instead it's first and second.
This batter has a unique stance at the plate.
Strike.
You can't tell by looking at it.
Turn it.
That's an out.
Double play! The 6-4-3 double play. Run to perfection.
Stepping up to the plate. Ezra
Dante is certainly getting weak contact going on. And Ichiro makes the catch. And that ends the inning.
The score is tied at
After what could have potentially been a disastrous first inning, the Melonheads get it together and blank the Tigers. Now, the story for the Tigers' struggles is definitely their pitching. Their starting pitcher for the day, Rachel, has an ERA list of 14.4, which at this point in the season is not good.
I've heard that this kid's pre-game ritual includes working on his swing by loading up the bat with donuts.
Foul ball.
Donut.
Ichiro with another foul ball.
wind up and the pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
No contact.
And he punches out Ichiro. What an unusual start for the Melonheads.
Do they really have robots these days?
Ichiro does not strike out very often.
Batter is a robot.
Here it comes.
Dante takes ball 2. Dante having a very patient at bat.
Here it comes.
Takes ball 3.
The pitcher
And I imagine Dante has the red light here.
the delivery.
Yeah. Oh, just got it in
Out goes to
for strike 1.
one
I think there
strike.
might still be a take here. And it is. And Dante draws the walk.
Stepping up to the plate. Sammy
Up next, Sammy Sosa.
The runner goes.
Who pops it
Even
foul.
the best pitchers regularly give up hits. They just don't give up the important ones.
The runner goes.
Dante on the move again, but it's caught by the shortstop. What a play.
Over the shoulder catch.
It was a great play.
Into the boxes.
Next up, Jim Tomei. This is Tomei's park right here.
I think what I like best about this kid is
Ball
his
1.
jaunty step.
And that would have been the pitch for Dante to steal on. I think Dante fell asleep at first.
The runner goes.
Instead, Dante steals on the low curve. Low screwball, I mean. Doesn't matter. Tomei pops it straight up. And is caught in foul territory by the third baseman.
At the end of the inning, there's no score.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm just glad to be here.
Not how the Melonheads drew up the first inning, as it is 0-0 and they are hitless after the first inning. Dante's still the listed pitcher, but you got to imagine they go get him here.
The boxes. Sidney Weber.
Yeah, and so Dante pitches 1 shutout inning, and they're going to go back to their former starter, Pedro Martinez,
Fast pitches will throw any pitcher
trying to see if he
out.
can get him back in
See why the coach
back in
swapped
stride.
for a fresh player.
Out.
1 pitch, 1 out.
Stepping up to the plate. Ruth Kraut.
Sometimes the difference between a hit and a miss is how tight you have it.
Ball just high.
1-0. Here it comes.
Strike. Gets the corner, gets the call. Strike one.
Pitch.
There's all sorts of
Pedro's
pitches,
having a tough
Sonny.
time locating those corner pitches.
Power pitches,
Foul ball.
picture windows.
The high heat popped up. Dante makes the catch in right field.
Settling into the boxes. Rachel Labuena. Pitch.
Bouncer back up to Pedro, who bobbles it. Can't get the out.
That play was
And
so
fielding is definitely something to be desired from this Melonhead team. Their defense has been their weakest link of the season so far. Ichiro makes the catch, and that will end the
Score is
inning.
tied at 0.
They still blank the Tigers, but they make another error. They leave one on base. It is still 0-0 heading into the bottom of the second. Tigers bringing in a different pitcher this inning. Still struggling in the ERA department, but so far,
Piazza.
Melonheads haven't done a whole lot.
Here's the pitch.
Strike, right on the knees. What a pitch.
Wind up and the pitch.
Strike two, almost the identical location.
Here's the pitch.
And Piazza gets three beautifully thrown curveballs for the strikeout.
This is the kind of matchup you only see in
Ahmed with a line drive to center field, dropped! And Ahmed is aboard off of the error.
At bat now, we've got Boom Boom.
Gomo arigato.
today's game because, hey, all right, I found my nachos. They were under my chair.
He's going to take strike one, and Ahmed's going to steal second.
The runner goes.
And there goes Ahmed, was moving on the pitch.
White did. Picks it up.
And Gomo Arigato's going to try to take second. And he's there.
You can get it.
That throw to home was pretty much worthless. But Gomo, being ready, took second on the throw.
To the plate, Tony Del Vecchio.
Tony Del Vecchio up next.
Runners go.
And he really needed that. That's going to be an RBI double for Del Vecchio.
Scoops it
They're going to send him to third.
to third.
He's there.
That play was so close, it was practically behind.
And Del Vecchio desperately needed that one.
Settling into
His batting average was in the hundreds still. He needed that one. Pedro up
You can
next.
either tire a pitcher out by fouling off a lot of pitches, or you can try to hypnotize him with your psychic powers.
Pedro with a line drive. They're going to send Del Vecchio home, but he's going to turn back around. And Pedro's just going to take second. No worries. Wow.
Stepping up to the plate, Ichiro.
Wow.
When you're up there at the plate, you've got to wait for the ball to come to you.
Leans in.
Foul ball.
The delivery. Couldn't hold
And they're going to do the exact same thing. And Del Vecchio toying with this Tigers defense. Dante up next. Bases loaded, one out. This is where you want Dante to have a big hit.
Pitch.
Ball one.
And the
He
count
drew the
goes
walk
to
earlier,
0.
so he's seeing the ball well today.
Delivery.
Takes a tough
From the
strike
stretch.
one.
Here's the pitch.
Swing, and it's a two-footer, but Tony's going to score!
They score a run.
And it was just what they needed. The swing and bunt. Dante stood there for a second, so I didn't know what was happening with that. But the Melonheads score another, and it brings up Sammy Sosa with the bases loaded and only one out.
Really showing me some gumption.
Swing and a miss for strike one. Sosa's trying to make this a 7-0 game right here.
Here it comes.
Swing for strike two. It count as 0-2 on Sosa.
Here's the pitch.
So he takes ball one.
Some people want to see pitchers throw all Ks, but I'll tell you. upon
Sosa, the
ground out,
long ball to center field, caught!
Center fielder. On
And there's confusion on the base paths. And it's an inning-ending double play.
After 2, our score here is the Melonheads 3, the Tigers 0.
The Melonheads score 3, but a base running error ends the inning abruptly. And they strand technically only 2 runners because the double play. But they get the bases loaded with 1 out and only score 1 run.
This kid knows how to stay cool at
Helps the
plate
fact that
by
Pedro's
throwing
big
with
dealing
fire.
again. This might have been the game they were waiting for to throw him back in.
Chico Adachi.
Get Dante to come in, get their inning.
Gets by
And it's going to get by Sosa. Are they going to test Ichiro's arm?
maybe a triple.
He's going to make it. Sosa laid out for it, but couldn't get it.
Kawaguchi.
Trying to make something happen for his pitcher.
Sometimes the difference between a hit and a miss is how tight your hat is.
We try to pick him up at second. Not in time. He's back.
Here it comes. Jim Tomei picks it up.
And they're going to tag her out.
Third.
But the runner advances to third.
Stepping up to the plate, Javier Callahan.
But there are 2 outs.
Pitch.
Beautifully first pitch changeup.
Pitch.
I gave up what the second pitch was going to be. I was going to throw a fastball.
Steal.
Screwball in there for a strike. Count as 1 and 2.
Pitch.
Gets her swinging. Ahmed fields it.
Baseman gets to it.
Throws it to first. And that ends the inning. Another shutout inning for the Melonheads.
We move to the bottom of the third with our score: the Melonheads 3, the Tigers 0.
As they head to the bottom of the third, it is 3-0 still. Tigers have a different pitcher on the mound, again with a ridiculously high ERA of 9.15.
Stepping up to the plate, Jim Tomei.
Tomei was excited last inning to potentially bat with bases loaded, but Sosa took that away. And so you know he's going to be mad. Fly ball, center field, drops! Wow.
Stepping up to the plate, Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza's up next.
Try to move the runner along here with a sacrifice.
The runner goes.
There goes Tomei.
Let's go. Gets fire. Has it.
They're going to send him to third, and he is going to be thrown out at third.
Centering into the boxes, Ahmed Khan.
A little too aggressive on the base pass there, the Melonheads. Ground ball.
Couldn't hold on to it.
Does not work.
Out.
Does not work going to third. It only works going to home. Piazza tried to force their luck.
When you're up,
Gomo Arigato up
to
next.
wait for the ball to come to you.
Hit sharply.
Blast that to left field. It's going to drop again.
Picks it up.
Gomo gets to second.
Unhappy kid crossing home plate.
That's an RBI double for Gomo.
Sure you step on home plate or they'll
As
take
the
it down.
Tigers just can't seem to figure out a fly ball.
Who loves baseball? Baseball and Chico.
There goes Gomo. But it's going to go foul.
Stretch. The runner goes.
Gomo tries to steal again. He's thrown out.
Question about that play, Sonny. It's
Getting a little too aggressive on the base pass. That's twice that inning they were thrown at third.
Melonheads are leading by 4.
The Melonheads put up 1, but it's 4-0 now, and I think they're kind of just testing out their running. But they're failing right now. There's been 7 errors this game after 3 innings. There's
Ezra Travolta.
a lot left to be desired on the field.
This batter reminds me of a young Creb Peterson, who played for the Melonheads way back in '96. The kid
Ground ball back to Pedro. He's got it.
Out.
Throws him out. Pedro's giving up a lot of weak contact,
Weber.
which is great for Pedro because that's his goal. His goal is to not give up a home run.
In this game, Sonny.
Strike 2.
Here it comes.
And spoke too soon.
A solo home run.
Dang it.
Stepping up to the plate, Ruth Trout.
An 0-2 home run.
The count is 1 ball and no strikes.
And there's a bunt.
Gets by.
Pedro can't field it.
Now batting, Rachel LaBuena. From the stretch.
Ground ball.
It's
Foul ball. They get a power up because it went foul, I guess. He tries to steal second. Piazza with a hard throw, not in time. Pedro is absolutely going to dirt this curveball. And they still manage to hit it.
Stepping up to the plate, Victoria.
I couldn't have put that any lower.
This is the kind of matchup
wild.
you only see in comic books about baseball.
Ball 2.
The pitcher has fallen behind here.
Misses for
Ball 3. And I think Pedro's just going to give up the walk here.
wind up and the pitch.
Yeah, they just gave up on ball 4 there.
Settling into the boxes, Gloria Keitel. Here's the pitch.
Ball is shot to center field, caught by Ichiro, and that will end the inning. As Pedro's home run woos continue.
Fourth with the score, the Melonheads
Tigers score 1. It's now
Tigers
4-1. And you got to think at some point, the Melonheads, when do you stop pitching Pedro?
At bat now, we've got Tony Del Vecchio.
Tony Del Vecchio up first.
When you think batting, you think hit the ball. And
Line drive. That's going to get through for a base hit. Tony Del Vecchio.
Stepping up to the
Finally.
Pedro Martinez.
what we've got here is a kid who loves baseball. Baseball and cheese. Hey, who doesn't?
The runner
There goes Tony. Tony's aboard with a stolen base.
pitch.
Strike 2.
The runner goes.
Pedro with a bunt.
Gets to it.
And Tony with his classic. Test him, and Pedro's just going to walk to second. Because they're going to give that up.
Now batting Ichiro.
Ichiro's up next.
Too many passes.
2 on, nobody out.
Pitches arm out. I can see why the coach
Ball
swapped him
1.
for a fresh player.
The pitch.
Ichiro's going to make this new pitcher work.
Takes a
2-0.
Here's the pitch.
3-0. And they're going to...
Peak.
You imagine Ichiro's got the red light right here.
Here it comes.
Strike 1.
Takes a peek.
I think they're still going to give Ichiro a red light here.
Here's the pitch. Checks the runner.
Full count. Throws 2 strikes in a row now.
Pitch.
And Ichiro draws the walk.
Settling into the boxes, Dante Robinson.
It's a big walk because that brings up Dante, who had a 2-foot RBI last time.
Here's the pitch.
Line drive foul. Space is loaded, nobody out.
Wind up and the pitch.
Swing and a miss for strike
Gotta protect
2.
the plate when you're in the hole. 2 strikes, Sonny.
Wind up and the pitch.
Ball 1. Good take by
When
Dante.
this pitcher takes the mound, most batters stand a little further back in the box.
Dante fouls that one off. He's fighting hard.
Here it comes.
Swing and a miss on a pitch that was way inside. And Dante goes down.
At bat now.
That's another at-bat with bases loaded that does not lead to a run. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here comes Sosa
Fastball.
in a familiar
The only trouble
situation.
This kid has is catching the bus.
A hard
And
shot.
Sosa with a fly ball deep left field.
As
Caught.
Makes the incredible over-the-shoulder catch. And the run scores. That'll end the inning.
And another base running error leads to another inning-ending double play. Melonheads score 1, but this is going to be a game of what-ifs from the Melonheads.
At bat now, we've got Machiko Adachi.
If they had baseball playing robots, all the
Tony with a diving catch.
shame.
Putting the team on his back.
Stepping up to the plate.
Helping his pitcher out.
The batter is warmed
But the
up
team
and
wants
ready to
Pedro to
play
be the pitcher.
baseball.
That he wants to be the guy. He's just struggled mightily recently.
Just looking to make contact here.
Pop fly, shortstop Del Vecchio makes the catch.
Tony Diaz it. Settling into the boxes, Fabienne Callahan. A bunt.
A bunt right back to Pedro.
Pedro
Flips it over to
Martinez
first,
has
gets the
it.
out. Clean inning for Pedro. That's what you want to see more of.
We go to the bottom of the 5th with a score. The Melonheads 5, the Tigers 1.
And we head to the bottom of the 5th with the
Boy,
score
oh boy,
5-1.
have we got a game on our hands, Sonny.
Melonhead manager is probably just going to put the brakes on the base path this inning.
Tome.
Tomei leading off.
Wind up and the pitch.
Ground ball back to the pitcher.
Quinn gets
And
it.
Tomei's going to get thrown out.
Settling into the boxes, Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza's up now.
Wind up and the pitch.
Piazza gives that one a ride. Deep center field. Off the fence.
Adachi.
And it's going to only be a single. Because they're going to hold Piazza. I think that was the right choice.
Stepping up to the plate, Ahmed Khan.
Look at the determination on that batter's face. This kid
Swing and a
And Piazza trying to steal.
out.
Gets thrown out. That was definitely a hit and run. And Ahmed missed it.
The pitch.
Well, so much for being careful on the base paths.
We move to the final frame with our score. The Melonheads 5. The Tigers.
So even with the 4-run lead, Sosa is ready to come in at any point in time if needed. But they're going to go ahead and ride this out with Pedro. See if he can go another clean inning.
Ezra Travolta.
I can't remember the last time I saw this kid strike out. And I can't remember where I put my nachos.
The delivery.
And there's the power up you knew was going to come. You knew was coming.
Picks it up.
And he's aboard with a leadoff single
Up to the
on the
plate,
Sonic Boom.
Sidney Weber.
I think we might see a bunt here, Sonny.
And they're going to throw. They're going to try to pick him off.
To first.
And they pick him off for the first out of the inning, just like that.
Pitch.
Erases the base hit.
The pitcher gets set.
And if you're the Tigers, you can't be getting thrown. You can't be getting picked off down 4.
This could be extra bases.
See if she's going to test Ichiro's arm. No, it's only a double. Anybody else there in center field, that's probably a
Stepping up to
triple.
the plate, Ruth Prout.
But Ichiro's got a heck of an
I can't
arm.
imagine what this batter is thinking about right now. Unless it's a chili dog.
A hard shot.
And Pedro giving up another high fly ball.
Called on
Ichiro
strike.
cannot get it. It was a tough play anyway.
Now batting, Rachel Labuena.
And so the tying run is on deck. Not great for the Melonheads.
Wind up and the pitch.
Turn it.
Ahmed gets
1. No, can't turn the game-ending double play.
Practically behind me.
But they do get the 1 out at second,
stepping up to the plate,
which
Victoria
keeps the
Shea.
tying run on deck.
Watch the way this kid.
They're going to try to steal second. Ahmed makes the catch, and that ends the ball game.
The game is over.
So a frustrating game on the base pass for the Melonheads, but they still end up winning this one 5-1. And Pedro looked like Pedro again, except for the 1 home run he gave up. Tony's the MVP. Dante gets his 10th stolen base. Good team win. Manager's frustrated at the base running. And the Melonheads are now only 1 game behind the Angels for the best record in baseball at 8-4. And just like that, everybody has pitched at least 1 inning. Everybody's given up at least 1 hit. Pedro has given up 10 home runs on the season. That's just gross. It's basically a home run every 3 or 4 innings, which is 1 home run every start. Tony's given up 3 in 9 innings. That's pretty bad too. Piazza gave up 1 and 2. Sosa's yet to give up a home run. He's only given up the 1 run. Might consider making Sosa the starter, but they want to use him as a high leverage arm. And so with 6 games left in the season, the Melonheads looking like they're going to be league leaders at the end of this one. Although the Rockies are still holding on to them, and they play them at the end of the season. Is that the very last game of the season against the Rockies, or is it the Dodgers? Very last game of the season is against the Rockies. So that's something to look forward to at the end of the season. See you later. And as always, thank you for coming for another episode of Backyard Baseball. And as always, see you later, you melonheads.